Welcome to Unexplained Mysteries. I'm your host, Liam Kavanaugh. Nature is a beautiful thing, but in many cases, appearances can be deceiving. Such is the mysterious case of a creature of folklore called the O the Wisps. According to legend, the wisp was a ghostly orb-like creature posing as a lantern that would lead travelers astray and eventually lead to something more sinister.
The O the Wisps have been referred to by many different names by cultures around the world, each with their own description of the creature. So let's take a look at all of them.
Starting in Europe, and more specifically areas surrounding Sweden, the legend is slightly altered. According to their story, the wisps would hide locations of long-buried treasure which needed certain conditions to obtain. And although this is a far cry from the original story, it is still one of those prominent ones in Europe. But the legend is not just confined to the East. There have been countless stories of these small lantern-like creatures in the Americas as well. In South America, the explanations and stories range greatly, from being witches turned into these small lights to a giant fiery serpent's eyes. In Asia, there are stories of strange lights that will lead fishermen to lose their bearings, and sometimes even to their untimely death. And lastly, in Australia and Great Britain, they are only described by sightings.
So, what does it all mean? There have been sightings of these strange lights all over the world, with their stories and motives ranging greatly. The widely accepted scientific explanation is phosphorus emitted by swamps, but this wouldn't explain why they're seen everywhere.
In Scottish folklore, the wisps are split in the middle, with some being outright cruel creatures leading travelers to their grisly end, while others will lead them to riches beyond comprehension. This might present us with our solution. Maybe the wisps choose whether to grant a traveler treasure or not, or maybe there are two kinds of them, the benevolent ones and the malevolent ones.
But there is another theory. In European and Scottish folklore, the wisps are souls trapped in purgatory, forever trapped between heaven and hell. Maybe this is why they lead others astray, so that they may find the same fate they did, forever wandering between worlds.
The O the Wisps have been documented for centuries, yet we still know so little about them, or if they even exist. Regardless, you're watching Unexplained Mysteries, and remember, life is never as it seems.